Hello everybody, this is Snarist, and I'm back with my God of War 3 Chaos Mode walkthrough. This is part 16, Daedalus. And this is a pretty smooth sailing chapter, not that long to go till the end of the game, but it's more in preparation for the Labyrinth. And the Labyrinth is where the real challenge comes in. Though to be honest, most of the Labyrinth is pretty easy. There's just a couple of fights that are going to really test you. And a couple of fights I've notoriously had a lot of problems with. And while it's far from, it's a far cry from the Cerberus Breeder boss fight, now that I think about it, you've really only got about 3 different parts of this walkthrough that's only going to give you some challenge. And it's going to be a couple of Labyrinth fights and then the Cerberus Breeder boss itself. But by now you should have more than enough upgrades to be able to carry you through it. So you need the Cestus at level 5 and you need the Nemesis Whip at level 5. And Blades of Exile should also be at level 3 and the Bow of Apollo at level 2 if you can help it. Now as far as the next part goes, I wanted to split them up into 3 parts because there's a lot to the Labyrinth, but I decided instead to put it into one video. And I'm going to include a moment where you go down and fall down the chain of balance all the way back down to the underworld on your way to the 3 judges. I'll include that in the Cerberus Breeder boss fight, just so I can explain a lot of what happens. So in this encounter, it's a little bit random, a little bit simple, strangely so. All you really have to do is just fight the other enemies, keep the Gorgon alive, and use her to constantly farm frozen statues of enemies. Stay on them, wait for her to freeze everything. Don't let them get too close, be careful of the Minotaur. This really isn't that tough of a fight. If anything, I should just be killing them all straight away, because this Gorgon is being strangely slow when it comes to getting on with the freezing. And I'm sorry this commentary isn't quite as lively as some of the other ones. I literally woken up a little bit earlier before work and I figured I might as well just get this in. Plus this part here really doesn't have that much to it. This is pretty much the only fight you have to worry about until you get to meet Daedalus, and even then that's leading up to the Labyrinth, but hopefully the Labyrinth itself is going to provide you with a little bit more pizzazz, we'll say. God, I hate the shield guys so much, they're so stupid. You can use the Hyperion grapple with the Cestus, like what I'm doing, to pull the enemies in and smash them away or break their shields. But yeah, just zoom up there, and before we move on, using the Boreas Ice Storm to activate a device in this little cistern sewer area in here, and we're going to go back the way we came to get to the Scorpion boss fight because it's a little secret. If you remember in an earlier part where we were stuck on an elevator and had to destroy some guys with the statues, where you turn them into statues, and a Gorgon would spawn, and when you activate the lift again to send it back up, you had to jump down underneath it, and there was some hidden chests underneath the lift. Well, it's the same thing here. When you activate this lift and you go up it, if you remember, there's a couple of chests down in here. But unlike those ones, these ones pack a lot of red orbs. And I believe as soon as I get to the section with Daedalus, or at least before it, I'll start upgrading and finishing off what I get, and we'll just take a closer look about what I've got, and roughly what you should have. And, now that I think about it, I'm a little bit disappointed in the Labyrinth section itself. I wish there was a little bit more to it, because I really liked Pandora's Temple from the first game. All the different traps, all the different little clever puzzles and exploration and traversal that you can do. It's strangely way more diverse than what this game does. Like, does anyone remember for the first time in God of War 1 when you're in the Challenge of Poseidon and you're going through that massive tunnel underwater, and as soon as you come out of one of the statue's mouths, there's all these like concrete blocks or whatever it is that are twisting and turning in these massive gears, and there are spikes on the end of them, and you had to charge up R1 to dash through the water, and you had to keep it up and do it consistently, but if you're too slow to get to the other side, it would slowly close in on you and stab you. That was a really intense moment. It really stuck out with me. So many cool things in God of War 1 with Pandora's Temple that I just miss. And I've played this game that much, and there's very few threats like that. So just swing yourself up there. There's no secrets here. Just activate the Labyrinth. Everything will start coming together, and then you just move on down. You can get inside and you can save it there, and this is where one of the truest challenges of this game starts. And then after that, and you clear it, the Cerberus Breeder will be all that's left. Keep an eye out for Stardust in these Labyrinth boxes, because there's a lot of secrets in here. A lot of red orbs. And I will say as well, guys, when it comes to the Labyrinth, you need to be careful not to use your Rage of Sparta in the last encounter, because it's going to make the Cerberus Breeder boss fight a lot easier if you do have it. Not necessarily for damage, but just to keep you busy until you get to the end. And I tell a lie, I do upgrade the Blades of Exile as much as I can, so I assume that I've already gotten the Nemesis Whip and the Nemesis, of course, to level 5. And now I've upgraded the Bow of Apollo, that's good.